Hello everyone, welcome back. We're driving trucks. It has been a while. Oh, that's a horn. Where's my lights? There's my lights. It has been a while since I have played ATS. I think almost an entire month to the day. Which is kind of wild. How do I get out of here? It's a full moon. And we're just gonna hope for the best. I think there's got to be a road back here, right? My god, how am I supposed to go that way? That's not gonna work for us. We're gonna have to go swing way wider, I guess. But yeah, welcome on in. Life has been lively. I meant to check before I come on, go forward. I meant to check before I start it, but I think the last one I was talking about how I was gonna apply to volunteer, and guys, I applied to volunteer at the library bookstore, which is super exciting, and this is awful. I can't see. I applied to volunteer, and come on. And I heard back that day. This is I don't know if I just did. Okay. I think we're good now. I applied to volunteer and the lady was like, oh, so-and-so, the coordinator, will be getting back to you probably pretty quickly. Within an hour and a half, I think my phone rang. And guys, be so proud of me for answering a phone call because I hate phone calls. So I answered the phone and ended up talking to this lady for I would say close to half an hour. Here's the thing, and this is what I kind of expected volunteering, is I was just gonna start to hear about all these older people, because most of the volunteers are retired, all of their lives and stuff. And let me tell you, this woman did not disappoint. She told me all about her best friend, whose dad had died in a logging accident, etc. on the preliminary thing, and then we set up an interview to go in. By the way, we're going from Colville, Washington to Tacoma. It's a slightly shorter trip than normal, but I'm working right now. I want to start unlocking cities that I don't have yet, so we have a few of those that we need to get through, so that's why we're going here. But anyways, so then I went in for an interview with her and the two ladies that are kind of in charge of the store specifically. She's kind of more in charge of the back end stuff. And we went and they're like, well, what would you like? I got a whole tour of everything. I figured, I was if I show up here and as long as I am not what the heck is wrong with this girl and that kind of vibe, I'm 99% sure that I get to volunteer. They didn't even, interesting thing, they didn't even have to do a criminal record check. And that's something that at the theater I used to work at, they had to do that. So that's interesting because I handle cash, not a ton. But anyways, so I got my little tour of the bookstore and every section. And then they brought me into the back. They have 2 rooms, and so they went over that. And I'm this is a lot. And then we went upstairs and we had a conversation. They're here's your parking pass, because there's a spot, the parking lot that I can park my non-existent car for free. And then they're we'll get you trained in the store first. So my plan is to be trained. When we were talking to them, my plan was to do donation duty. So when stuff comes in, I sort it for donation. They do have a wild system. And then also to be able to sub in the store if they need assistance. Because it just makes sense with my cash and retail background. Although, I think I'm glad that I didn't say I wanted a set shift in the store because I simply cannot, but we will get to that. But anyways, so they're yeah, so-and-so's gonna reach out to you about training in the store, and then we'll do the rest from there. I'm okay, sounds good. And then I get a text message half a week later saying, oh, so-and-so is unable to train for I'm going under the speed limit, what the heck. So-and-so is unable to train for the next couple weeks, so did you want to train donation duty? I was yeah, sure, this weekend, whatever works. And she's yeah, I just got to make sure that, I'm calling him Mr. History, that Mr. History is available because he's in charge of the history section and a bunch of other things. But yeah, he's like, I just got to make sure that Mr. History is available, and he was. So I'm like, cool. So like, I go in, or like I'm ready to go in, and then I get a phone call from the store lady, and she's like, yeah, like what day works great for you to volunteer? And I'm like, huh? Or to train. I'm like, I thought she wasn't available for weeks. So I, you know, I had to call her back and set something up. So I set that up. So I went in on the Saturday. This was like 2 weeks ago now. I went in on Saturday. Now we're going towards Spokane. And they were like, we're going to leave stuff from Friday for donation duty, because the person who is in charge of the donation duty team, she was in on Friday. She's like, we're going to leave stuff for you guys. There was nothing donated on this Saturday. Like, it's absolutely wild. Because just had to fix the audio. It's absolutely wild because I guess the 2 previous Saturdays and Fridays, they were slammed with donations. This Saturday, the Saturday they need to be trained on, 0, nada, absolutely nothing. So like I go in and there's like a couple like Christian fiction and cowboy books. They go together in the room when you put them in the room, and then like the category person gets in charge. So I'm like, it's Christian cowboys. And that's how I remember the section. Anyways, so there were like a couple books to sort, but the entire time I was there, we got 2 stacks of magazines and 2 books. And the way that they do their thing is the magazines go in a specific area for the magazine person. And then if it's a fiction book, it goes into an area to be checked for good as new. So that means that I gotta get in this other lane. So that means that they're like really good. Their books in like really good shape. Haha, it worked. They're books that are in really good shape. So instead of just going for like $1 or whatever like the standard price is, they might sell them for $2 because they're like brand new books. So everything that comes in has to be checked. Oh, I could have stayed in that lane, I guess. Everything that comes in has to be checked. So like literally went and got those 2 books and just like put them right in. Although I feel, no, we didn't slam. Although I do feel like maybe they can go right into the section because we did do that with them. So I don't know. Anyways, I think it's just general fiction, nothing like, anyways, whatever. So they have to be checked. But again, there was like nothing to put out. So like my training was like 20 minutes. And then Azrate's mom was picking me up that day because he had a tournament, a game tournament. And so, oh no. I did not crank that hard enough. And so I texted her. I'm like, yeah, I guess there's nothing to do. Like after like half an hour, I'm like, I'm good to go. And then she's like, all right, I'm on my way. And then the lady that's in charge of like kind of the volunteers across the board, she comes in because she's got my tappy badge. Because I'm working in the back, I need a badge to tap into the back, as well as a name tag for the store. And so she's like, yeah, I just want to show you the doors you can tap into. So like, you know, if you're coming in outside of like library open to the public hours to do like the back end stuff, you can do that. I'm like, okay, cool. So it was 3 doors she had to show me. Actually, technically I would count one door as 2 of the doors as one because like it's just a double door to get through. Anyway, so it takes her 40 minutes because again, talking about all the things like life, the universe, and everything. And I like feel so bad because Ashrate's mom's waiting for me outside. And anyways, we finally get through that. And I message her. I message Ashrate's mom, I'm like, I'm running. And she's like, oh no, don't worry about it. Like, it's totally fine. And I get to the car. I'm like, no, I wasn't running to you. I was running from her. I'm like, because, you know, a chatter. So anyway, so I did that. I leave training for donation duty feeling like I know about the exact same as I knew going into that or less. So I'm stressed about this whole week because then last Saturday, it's Tuesday today, so last Saturday was, okay, Keeper, you're in on your own. You are volunteering figure it out. Fortunately, like, I made sure to go in at like 1 o'clock when I knew the lady that was in charge of donation duty would be in the store, so if I had questions. And also Mr. History was around. He's like there every day, basically. Great resource. So that was fine. And I went this last week, and it went well. There was actually stuff to do, which was nice. I got to sort things. There was still some confusion, but I feel like at the end, I was like, I feel like I had like 80% of things sorted right. And the lady that's in charge of the team was like, that's pretty good, because there's people who've been here for years and they're at like 85%. Because it's like, it's pretty easy. The fiction is really easy to sort, because you just sort it by, you typically, general fiction, you just sort by author. It's only if it's like the specialty ones, like science fiction, although they seem to put fantasy in science fiction, and I'm like, why though? Those ones have to be sorted slightly differently. Other than that, we good. And then the nonfiction, though, you got to be like, shoot, okay, is this spirituality or is it devotionals? And there was one, for example, it's like, is this travel or is this nature? Because it was a naturalist going through the entire United States through 4 seasons and talking about nature, but was traveling. And so I had to go to Mr. History for a couple. I'm like, and then after I sorted everything, I kind of like went through and I was like, okay, I'm starting to like understand it a little bit more. Also, it doesn't help that cookbooks are in the opposite room. So I was like, where's the cookbook section? But we got there, and I think I'll enjoy doing it. But everyone was like, wow, you were so fast at that. I'm like, it's like, was this supposed to take a long time? Because like, I'm here and I'm getting it done. Eventually, I think the plan is for me to also be a category owner, and there is a vintage section, so I think it's books before 1976, and we're getting real close there. And the person that does that also does a lot of other things, and so I'm like, you know, that to me looks like an area that needs help, because like there's like 4 bookshelves full of these vintage books and they're stacked on the floor and stuff. And like, so I can totally do that. And so then when I go on donation days, and especially if there's like not a ton to do, I could just roll over into that. So I feel like, you know, I've actually shown up and done something, because I was there for like maybe an hour. And I probably did about 30, maybe 40 minutes of actual work. Some of it, like I said, was me like trying to figure things out. So yeah, so that was the 2 Saturdays. I feel more confident on that. I still have questions, but like mostly confident. And then on last Wednesday, yeah, I went in to do my training for the store. And so the nice thing is like, I was like, okay, the store is open for like 4 hours. So I'm thinking like 4-hour shift. No, 2-hour shift. If you're working in the store, it is a set 2-hour shift. They split it. Pretty chill. Oh God, we're going real fast. This is fine. And then, so I go in a little bit before, and we like, you know, do the opening thing, count the cash, which is wild to me because they don't have toonies or loonies. And as a Canadian, I'm like, what? I obviously I use $1 bills, but I'm like, why are there $1 bills? There's also no nickels or dimes, because everything's either like a quarter or $1 or like on that. So like, that's fine. But yeah, so we go in, and like the training was pretty chill. It's just they don't have receipts, and so if you are if somebody pays cash, you have to write down on a clipboard like books $3. But if someone pays by a card, they don't have it split into categories. They use Square, so you could easily split into categories. They don't. And so then I'm like, but how can they tell if it was merchandise or card or, you know, donation or whatever? And I'm like, why? And then also, oh shoot, that's a cop. No, it's not a cop, never mind. It was also like the Square thing wasn't working, and so they're just like, to this guy that came in, they're like, oh, you can just have that book for free. And he's like, well, no, I have money in my car. But he's like, in the past when I've been here and it hasn't worked, they've just reset the iPad. And they're like, oh, we don't know how to do that. And I'm like, and so I reset, and they're like, oh my God, is it gonna come back on? I'm like, yeah, just like give it a second. And then it worked fine for the rest of the shift. They're also like implementing some changes, but yeah, anyways, it's been an interesting situation. Oh yeah, I have to see if people, there's like a clearance sale coming up too, and I meant to put my name in to sign up to volunteer to help set it up, but I totally forgot. Because I'm young and I got muscles. I can help with that stuff, with tables and whatnot. I don't want to work it. I don't want to like help people. And that's the thing. Anytime I work in the store, I'll be like, hey, you hang out up front here. I'll just go make sure everything looks pretty in the store, because like I'm someone who has a hard time just standing doing nothing. It's like, maybe it's because like, you know, when I was working jobs growing up, it's like the whole like, you got time to lean, you got time to clean. They literally don't clean. They're like, no, we got somebody that cleans. Like if there's a spill, there's like some rags, and I'm like, so like, I'm like, I would rather go around and like pretty up shelves and all that jazz than help customers, because really, truly, I'm not here for it. So we'll see how it goes. We are speeding. But yeah, I think I'll definitely enjoy the back end stuff, and I'll sub when they need help. But even so, they put out like the day, was it? I don't know. At some point last week, they put out the schedule, I guess, for next September. And they're like, we need subs for these days. And I was like, I could do this day and this day. And they're like, you're on this one day. Also, oh my God. Everybody, like 7 people replied all. 7 replied all. Like, just reply one. Just reply one. Drives me nuts. But yeah, so far so good. I've only had, like I said, 3 shifts there. Tokyo drifting. I've only had 3 shifts so far. The first one, it was such a wash. It felt like I was just so stressed going into the second donation one, but like now I feel better about it. Also, at the end of the day, if you sort something wrong, or maybe that category owner decides like, no, this isn't quite for my section, they'll put it in the other one. Are we playing music? Was I not playing music this whole time? I swear I was. Am I crazy? Okay, there we go. Whatever, we were chatting, it's fine. But yeah, I felt like so stressed going into last Saturday, but like now I feel good. And like Mr. History said, the only issue if you sort something wrong is if you throw something out that probably shouldn't have been thrown out. Oh, there's also, they have like this whole Amazon section. So everything non-fiction gets checked by their Amazon team, and anything that's interesting or might sell for like a pretty penny on Amazon, they take out and then they sell on Amazon. They've got like some really cool looking ones there. And you know, it's good if, you know, to make more money, because all the money goes into the community and local programs and stuff. I think like, okay, I think for me, the game is just super loud because I can barely hear the music, but it's fine. But yeah, so like I think that's really cool. It helps with so much around the community, and I am so here for that. And also, as we said, like I like maybe I'm considering wanting to work at the library when I can work, and so, you know, having like my foot in the door here will 2 things. 1, it'll give me a chance to be like, oh shoot. I had to do it. It'll give me a chance to, I guess I could have braked, it's fine. It'll give me a chance to, 1, see if I like the environment of the library, because like the back room stuff is like areas that library staff are in as well. Honestly, I would love to do like reshelving stuff I'd be down with, but like also like just scanning books back in when they get returned sounds amazing. But anyways, so I'll get to know if I like the environment there. And then secondly, when I do, regardless of when I do go back to work, I can at least be like, well, I haven't been working, but I have been volunteering for this time. So yeah, we shall see how things go. But like overall, it's been good. I think it's been good for me to get out of the house. And like like one of the things, like when I stream, right, and like, hey, yeah, so I stayed home for 4 days again. I've been home since I streamed last, etc. So it's nice to kind of have something to talk about, even if it's like I went to work for 20 minutes. But yeah, so that's like, I would say that's the biggest update with me right now. And like, you know, it's good. I would love to be able to work though. I'm someone, I have worked since I could work. So like when I was 15, I was like, I'm gonna get a job. So I've worked since I've like legally been able to work. And there's been very few periods of time besides like when I was in school and maybe I didn't want to work or something, but there's been very few periods of times where I have not been working at the same time as doing everything else. And so, well, we definitely need to slow down. And so it's definitely a challenge for me to, one, not be working because that's just something I'm used to. And then two, not being able to like financially contribute to the household, you know? Because I'm like, I feel, and like, Azurite will be like, you're not, but I'm like, I feel like a burden, even though I'm adding value within the house for other reasons, like cooking, doing grocery planning and meal planning and all, and prep and like, you know, all that stuff. So like, I'm adding value in other ways, but like, again, as someone who has been working since she could work pretty consistently, it's really hard to not be just working all the time. I also think like I probably need to give an update about the invoicing situation because I feel like I was airing my grievances about that, but I will I'll do that in the next part that I record, which will 100% be after this, even though I'm going to change my outfit and change the lights so you guys think it was on a different day. Listen, I'm being honest at least. Part of me kind of wants to play some ETS, but like I just love ATS so much. I don't know what it is about ATS. I had to slow down because we're going to be turning here shortly. We're exiting. Ticka, 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 ticka. I'm going to have to fix the audio because like I said, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm oh shoot. I got to keep my gas on. I feel like I cannot hear. Oh, I was like, which way do I go? I feel like I can't hear anything. Like I can barely hear the music, but I checked it and I think like you guys can. Like, right? Yeah. Yeah, the audio balance for me on the truck is just like not great. Also, because I've got the steering wheel, which is like pushing me back, I can barely reach my audio mixer. Well, you know, it was bound to happen. I don't think I actually got a ticket on the other person I crashed into. Ooh, we're also at like almost 500K. Let's go. We speeding. We love speeding. Just gonna. The sound of the truck is just driving me nuts, and I can only imagine like if you drove trucks all the time. My grandpa, when I was growing up, he drove tow trucks, and he had a diesel, and yeah, the sound. And the smell. This is good smell. It was just so crazy. Like, I remember like growing up and just like, oh, grandpa's picking me up from school today in his tow truck. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Sometimes got picked up on a motorcycle too. Not by grandpa. But yeah, it was one of the first vehicles I drove as well. When I was learning to drive, my grandpa's like, take you back out onto the logging roads. And until I grew up rural. Take you onto the logging roads. And we will, are we going? Oh, I think we're going towards Portland. And we will, and you can get in the tow truck and drive. That's how I learned how to back up with the mirrors on the tow truck. Wild times. Oh, SeaTac. Wait, are we by Seattle? I guess it makes sense because we're going to Tacoma. I've been to SeaTac several times actually. I've been to Seattle once. Back in the day, I met somebody on the internet and I went to visit them in Seattle. It didn't work out at the end. Oh, dang. That was not what I was hoping would happen there. Yeah, we're taking some damage. It's been a while since I've driven, and the fact there were many opportunities where I could have flipped over, and the fact that I didn't, I think is perhaps a miracle. We are 29 minutes out. Yeah, I could never drive a big truck for everybody else's safety. I think this is like a miracle because I don't think I've ever been able to bypass 3 way stations in a trip. Of course, at this point with my 24% damage, I still don't think I would do, I think it's like $700 fine if you blow it. But I would probably not, because I'd probably not stop, because just in case, because I know it's right around that 20, I think like 24 to 28% damage that they go, oh, you're not fit to be on a road. Here's a big fine. And I don't want that. Okay, I think we gotta go this way. Port of Tacoma. I almost read that as taco. Tacoma. The Monkey King instead of the Lion King. #2 musical in Vegas. But yeah, I went down to Seattle, took the bus from Vancouver. That was like 5 hours. But it was cool to see Seattle. And then I've been like anytime. Okay, here's the situation. You were turning. Anyway. And then anytime I've gone to visit Azurite. What is happening? See, every once in a while, I wonder if I'm playing with other players, even though, like, I don't think I am. Because stuff like that happens. But yeah, anytime then I would fly to visit Azurite, it would always be like, Seattle makes the most sense first. I'd be like, all right. It was nice because, I mean, sometimes you got like a really obscenely long layover in between. But it was nice when you didn't, because then it was like 2 really short flights. But if you got the really long layover in between, then ooh. I remember the first time I came down to visit him, I did a like 4, 5 in the morning flight or something out of Vancouver, because I was like, I stayed in the Fairmont, Vancouver, which is pricey, but I just come out of my summer job, and it's like I had some money, and I was like, I'm gonna treat myself. And so I stayed there in a hypoallergenic room, which was bless, so good, because like I got them allergies to scents and crap. And I spent the night there. Hey, we discovered Tacoma, let's go. We only have 4 more left in Washington to discover. And it was really nice to just go walk down, get on plane, and go from there. Are we gonna even... Oh, we made it. All right, let's see if we can do this. I think we can do this. As long as we don't immediately crash. Because that could happen. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Oh, no. Wait, we gotta back up. We missed it a little bit. There we go. Let's go. We made it. How did that go? Good work. Okay, we'll take it. How much damage? Okay, only 737. Not bad. Not bad. I will take that. In the next one, I'll update you on the drama about the invoice again. I'll do a recap and then go over what the resolution has been from that, because that was a whole thing too. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, because we have ATS every single Monday. Plus we have full game playthroughs and demos, and there are so many good demos. I am somehow shockingly ahead on demos, so we got lots of stuff to go through. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.